So, my name is Marina Romanova. So, currently, I'm a leader of charity fund. So, I have been preparing for this for a long time. So, this fund was officially registered in April this year. But in order to understand it, I have been preparing for this topic for 3 years, so I've studied the information. So before it, previously I had my own business connected with flowers. Since from 1990 to 1993, I was the head of this flower company, so we started from scratch. So the year 1990, everything in the country in terms of business is on the very low level. So people start from grassroots. So we started to work directly with Holland. So that time, not just currency, foreign currency accounts exist. So the customs did not exist in the proper way. So that is why we worked on parole. And we thought, so like Russian businessmen before revolution, so they could send it, they send it and you pay for it. So it meant that everything was based on confidence and parole. So we started to work at the beginning of 90s and to cooperate with the first director of Avon Cosmetics company. Now it is very widespread, but that times it only entered the Russian market, and we considered how to work with it, how to integrate it in Russia. And the most important thing is that we pay in cash, so we turned money in plastic pockets via airplanes. So it was interesting that we start everything from the very beginning, and we were full of enthusiasm. We knew that we could do it. So all in all, the flower business is very beautiful, but at the same time, it is very difficult and severe. And we had everything in our business. Why do I say we? Because we have many people in my staff. So if you remember Pavlov currency reform to default, the market crash of 1998 in Russia, so very many difficult obstacles. So it means that the first half of our life we are studying, we are capturing knowledge, some material part of our lives, the flat, so try to provide our children with premises. But to my mind, we should during our second part of life we should give. And to my mind, I entered this second stage of my life, and I'm prepared to give. And the first half of their life, it appeared that we consume. We have a flat, a car, then we want to build a house, to buy 2 cars for myself and for husband. Then we can consider some cottage house, and these desires are not limited, so they are vicious. So every time we can see the consummation, and many people are glad that they can develop it, they can obtain as much as possible, and their quality life are defined by their property, by the money they have. It could be, and we can't say that it is bad or good. So it is as it is. And entering the sphere of charity, I faced other people, faced other world. So having been worked in business for 13 years and got used to pay for everything, so I faced the people who are happy just because they give. So they live with it. So I've communicated with charity funds in Moscow, with people who deal with it in Moscow, and so you see that the charity is very subtle, very delicate sphere. So it means that some steps to the right, some steps to the left can disturb, and it's difficult to judge. what is much easier, to feed homeless people who are living on the who are living somewhere, or to garbage, to clean out of the garbage the premises, to establish a center for, crisis center for young mothers. So today our fund obtained premises in the center of the city, huge enough, in order to establish a crisis center as a little mom. And this building is in very poor condition, so you can see just like rat trap. So we have been searching people who could do it for money, and we didn't manage to do it. So people refused to do it for any money. But we had to clean it out during 1 week. So all of the builders, all the constructors refused to clean this premises. So we turned to volunteers. The group of volunteers came, and during their holidays, within 8 or 10 hours, so they cleaned up this room. And I saw them, and I couldn't realize why. So why do they do it? So what do they need? So they just came, worked without uh, any money, and and went out. And now just I can't fully realize everything, because my 13 years in business influences. When somebody comes to me and suggests the free help, I should ask once again, are you ready to do it without money? Yes, are you sure? Yes, they say yes, definitely, we will do it for free. And the most common question is from my friends, and don't you think that it will be done for you just for free? So it means the two questions, I ask and then I am asked. So that is why for me it's not clear. So what do they need? These people who came and provide their help. And then I analyze the activity of these people. I try to analyze the experience and understand that this inner need of a person. So one day this inner need of a person appears to be involved in charity. So here you can see the volunteers who are playing with children. It's much easier because you see happy children, but when there is some kind of abstract crisis center and you should do it from the scratch, it is much more complicated. And I'm thankful to these people endlessly. So I couldn't find words to express my feelings in a proper way. So that was about the people who come to charity as volunteers. So we can accept any initiative. So we can react on any participation. And the most pleasant thing that mostly youth comes to us. So it doesn't mean, it means that it is not the people from generation where I've brought up, but these are the youth. And the people of my generation, they used to earn. Yeah, because they lived in this urge when they had to earn money. But it's much more easy to communicate with the youth. They are ready to give, probably because they have more substantial financial situation from their families, and they didn't face the problems that we've faced during our time. And we are ready to work with any people, with any initiative people. In winter this year, the graduates from Tomsk Architectural University came to us and suggested to conduct the following action: to work with disabled people in order these people, these disabled children, have their photos. And it is very it's not easy to make a photo of disabled children. We were afraid of it because there are many people, even wheelchair disabled. So several children that they can't, children who can't fix the sight, can't fix the attention. So there were about 13, 15 people, and this action was really very successful. So they prepared everything, costumes, etc. So children got their professional photos, and we, as a fund, provided the free of charge studio, professional photographers, and some several auxiliary actions. So there is the question arises: why did these girls, these graduates, decide to do it? So they get the positive impression. So they realized that they provided happiness for somebody. And on the other hand, we saw children. Several children were very, very glad about it. So they were. This girl was emotionally full because she had been crying during all the photo session because she had never experienced this type of attention. And now she saw her in a very new way. Our fund is young fund, but we have very global plans and ambitious, I would say, ambitious plans. I don't know whether we will manage to do it or not, but we will try. So definitely we can't fulfill it only using our own capacities, because now we have only 3 or 4 people in our fund who are on permanent vacation, and we hope that volunteers will contribute to it. Probably one day business will be interested. And now we see, and one of our programs is aimed at young mothers. So we pay a lot of attention to mothers who were brought up in children's or in orphans' houses. So, and we can say that business is not just silent, no words, no attention from it. We are talking about prophylaxis, about preventive measures. So we are working through the forums. So there are people who are ready to knit the children's clothes. So we also announced an action to collect the clothes. Just it's the traditional action. Everybody helps. When we told about our program, we announced a huge youth concert on Novosoborная Square, and 7 bands, 7 youth teams appeared, performed free of charge. So it was about 3 or 5 performances, and we saw that there are people who are ready for charity. I wouldn't say about the program in more detailed in a more detailed way, and I would say that we will switch on our video, like video visiting card, and I highlight that everything is done for free. So so the music is written by Ahmed and Marat. So the voices of volunteers. So the studio was presented to us just on the free of charge basis. That is why we hope that our program will be fulfilled, probably not in a year, but they will be long-term ones. But we expect that the generation will realize that it needs it to help to other
Региональный
people. So the
благотворительный
regional
общественный фонд
charity
«Право на
fund
детство» Томской
right
области.
for the
Пусть
childhood.
всегда будет
Let
мама.
the mother be